Hey there, New Day blessings, and welcome to another episode of the Maven Podcast. I'm your host, Denise Ann Sumbry, and my next guest, she is a dynamic training director with one of the largest financial institutions in the industry, bringing nearly a decade of client-facing experience in professional and financial planning. As a certified financial planner, she has a proven track record for helping individuals and organizations achieve their financial goals with confidence and clarity. She is also co-chair of Aspire's Professional Development Division, spearheading impactful mentoring programs and activities for professional development, fostering growth and leadership across the organization. She serves as a mentor to associates both inside and outside their company, nurturing the next generation of financial professionals. She holds a master's degree in business, and outside of her corporate achievement, she is a passionate fitness influencer and soul line dance instructor, blending physical wellness with her professional leadership to inspire others to find balance in both life and career. With a focus on growth, mentorship, and financial empowerment, she is committed to creating a lasting impact within the industry and community. I get to call this amazing woman my dear friend and sister, the one, the only Veronica Phillips. Yeah, welcome to the Maven Podcast.
Thank you. What an introduction.
Beautiful introduction. And it just exudes so much of your wonderfulness. And I'm just really excited to delve deep into all these different aspects of you and who, Veronica, or who I know as Ronnie. Is it okay to call you Ronnie?
Yeah.
Here? Okay.
Absolutely.
And who she is, even beyond the titles, right? And so I'm just grateful that you're here, and I'm grateful that you said yes. And we get to share we get to share this space together. How is your heart in this moment? How are you feeling? How's your heart?
Joy. That's what I say. Joy. My heart is feeling joy right now. Yes.
And that joy vibration seems to be very highlighted for you right now. I know that you shared recently a beautiful compliment that you radiate joy. How does one become in the essence of joy?
That's an excellent question. Doing the things that make your heart happy. Whatever those things are, those things that light that fire in your belly, as cliche as it sounds. But the things, for me, it's taking care of my plants, it's dancing, it's helping others, it's creating space and opportunity, it's being a blessing to someone, it's my strong hug every morning to my kids and my husband when they leave out. It's my joy when I'm working out. It's those things. And when you are doing those things naturally, you feel good. And I guess, like they say, then you look good. And I guess that looks like joy.
That is so true. Like when you feel good, you look good. Is it safe to say that joy is one of your personal pillars and or core values?
It's a non-negotiable.
Yes. Yeah.
It is a non-negotiable. I am very protective. I am very intentional about my joy. It's a non-negotiable. Whether I am creating it or I get to be blessed by being around environments or individuals who exude joy, and then I can feel it. Either way, I have to have them both. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And what I'm hearing, like, even as you were describing that, the vision of just like joy is the tree, like the base of the tree, and then you have all the branches, because it sounds like you find joy in your community, You find joy within yourself. You find joy within your work as a leader and a teacher. It feels, and even what I've witnessed with you, even with dance, right? Like, it is something that you embody and you embrace in full capacity. And it's a gift that keeps on giving. It's contagious, right? Do you find that your energy and when you're operating, when you keep what I'm hearing, keeping joy centered, that you attract more joy and repel anything that is essentially of the contrary of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share with you one of the highest compliments I received in the professional atmosphere. It was in 2017. I'll never forget this moment. I was having a moment, as you do when you work in corporate America. I'm sure most people can relate to that. And I was having a moment like, does this bring me joy? Am I helping others enough? What's my impact? All the things. And I remember this leader saying to me, he's like, have you ever heard of the term moth to a flame? And I said, yeah. I mean, I thought of Janet Jackson immediately. Those who know. But I said, yeah, I do. And he said, you're the flame. And for everyone in this office, they're moths. And he said, you shift the energy whenever you enter a space. That's a gift. Don't downplay that just because it's something that can't be measured or tangible on any sort of corporate checklist. He said, never forget that. And I remember thinking, that's why I'm supposed to be here. Because at that particular time in my career, I was questioning a lot of things. And the environment that I was working in, it was very structured, very black and white, very business. And while those things are important, I'm very vibrant. I'm very good morning. What's up, everybody? How are you feeling?
Laura from Cookie
Oh,
Cutter.
goodness. It was smothering. And as much as the energy that I was bringing to the space, it started to feel lonely. And I started to almost, I'm going to say, abandon my post until he reminded me of that. And I thought it was a good reminder for me that it might not feel good, but sometimes you have what you have and you just have to give it. Sometimes that's good. And then to answer your second point, it's been a deflection. Because I know my energy can be too much for some people. It can be, is she really that cool? Is everything really that chill? It is, because I'm very intentional and protective of my joy. So over here it is, for sure. And if not, I have to remove myself, or thank God people just remove themselves. And that's fair. And that's fair, because you shouldn't have to be around someone that disturbs your spirit. And if my joy, if just my being does that, you should be intentional about removing yourself. That would do us both some good.
Yes, absolutely. And knowing that, folks, especially with their energy and just vibrationally speaking, like, not everyone can reach, right, just where they're at in their life or circumstances, like energetically, that repelling becomes just a simple fact that even if they were to try, it's spinning wheels.
Yeah.
And then you meet those beautiful, everyone's beautiful, right, in their own right, in their own space. But when you connect with others who can vibrate, right, and match the vibration, oh, it's like fireworks. It's like, and is it your energy, and you speak that, I want to hone into this just a little bit deeper. Did you always know that your energy shifted rooms? Or was there a pivotal point where someone said or brought it to your attention, then it became that process of embodying it and you truly owning it as truly what you know and embody.
Yes. Okay, so I knew that the room shift when I entered. I don't think I was mature enough to know that it was my energy shifting a room.
Mm-hmm.
I started to embody it, I believe, in college with various leadership opportunities. I'm very blessed to have an amazing group of girlfriends that, um, you know, really held me accountable, showed me the way, really encouraged me during that time as I was becoming a young lady. And I think it was then that I was like, this is a good thing when the room shifts.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad thing, especially if you embrace it in a way where it comes from love and good intention.
Yes.
I didn't know that I was seeking joy. It was just be kind, be positive. Think about, you never know what's going on in somebody's life, and a simple compliment. I always think about that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you mentioned leadership opportunities and college. Can you just share a little bit of what shaped your career path and what led you to become a certified financial planner and training director for a prominent financial institution?
Yeah. So to answer the first portion of your question, leadership opportunities in college and how I got here, it was not intentional. My mother, I was talking to her driving here, and she reminded me, she said, "I'm so proud of you. Look at you on a podcast and everything, talking about your career path. And to think, you thought you were going to live with me forever and be a nail tech." And we just laughed. laughed. So I had no intention on going to college. I didn't imagine I was going to be like a professional woman. I love to create. So I was like, I'm going to do nails. I'm going to be, just being able to have fun and travel and do nails and whatever. Well, I realized the type of life that I wanted and the type of stability, I think, and predictability that I wanted for my life was like, okay, maybe that's not it. So I went to college. Luckily for me, I was roommates with two just bookworms.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for these women. Shout out to Allison Black, amazing poet and author. Shout out to Janae Weems, amazing professional at Tri-State College. These ladies they were the first to teach me how to study and what it meant to be in college, what it meant to be a college student, and reminded me that you have to graduate. And I'm like, okay, I'm not here for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I got to have fun while I'm here, but I'm here to take care of business. So thank God for them, like being paired with them as my roommates for freshman year. I was involved in, Black Student Union, Multicultural Student Center. I worked for Upward Bound. So I had many leadership opportunities through college, and I realized, well, I didn't realize that was leadership.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand that concept then. Out of college, I actually spent 8 years in pharmaceutical sales.
Wow.
So I did that. Right out of college, I moved to Michigan. I did that for a few years there. Then I came back to Cleveland and, continued my career in that field. I had my oldest son, who's now 14. And I was like, there's no way I'm leaving my new baby to go back to that industry. And it was scary, but I was like, I have faith. I also had a husband too. So big ups to the husbands out here that's saying, hey, if you want to take some time off to figure out the next step, you're a new mom, I hold it down. Huge shout out to my amazing husband of 17 years, Tyson Phillips, educator extraordinaire. So I took 2.5 years off. I was a stay-at-home mom, and it was our financial planner at the time who introduced me to financial services and said, you should do this as your next career choice. And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, listen, you understand these concepts as I've been teaching you, as my client. And he's like, I think you'd be great at this. Like, you have a passion for helping people. What better way to help people than with their money?
That part.
I mean, so I was like, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Consider it turns into an interview / okay, now I'm in financial services. And here we are 12 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I just love how, and I know a lot of folks can resonate where you think we know how we're going to progress or what we want to do. And then just life, right? It's like, no, you're not the director. Yeah, it's not your path. Yeah. Can you share a little bit of what are the most common financial misconceptions you see and how do you help people overcome them?
I don't know. I feel like there's so many. I don't know if there's one.
Maybe top 3.
Oh, I would say maybe top 3. People underestimate the power of budgeting.
Let's go.
People underestimate the power of budgeting. The difference between you and someone that has a savings for an emergency or rainy day, the difference between the person going paycheck to paycheck and the one who has already financed their vacation, who's already thinking about preparing for their kids' upcoming school year, and all the things we got to buy for the classroom and, back to school clothes and shoes. Only difference is budgeting. Living under your means. It's, I can get a job, it's not a big deal, or I can shuffle this, shuffle that. But instead of surviving, I want people to thrive financially. So budgeting.
And shout out to my personal coach, Stacey Flowers, because she said a profound quote that money does better and goes where it needs to go when it's managed. Money needs to be managed. You need to know every dollar, and there's a relationship there.
Yeah.
Right. What money's coming in, what money's going out. And to your point, living below or under your means to connect to that energy of thriving versus just surviving. Because one of the quotes, you hear a lot is, oh, just make more money. Just make more money. Just make more money. You don't have to cut the coffee out or just make more money.
And then what comes at the expense of making more money?
That part.
I mean, because I don't know about y'all, but where I'm at in my big age and in my time in corporate America, I don't want to take on additional responsibilities.
Yeah,
I don't need to climb your corporate ladder to be sleep deprived or be on call all the time or can't schedule a family vacation because of this major project. I don't want a job where if I leave, then it's like things crumble.
Yes.
No, ma'am. No, sir. Absolutely not. So it's not about making more money. I tell clients, you have a responsibility to assign responsibilities to your dollars.
I love that.
Always think about an emergency. What happens if you're a renter and your place gets sold? Do you have first and last month's rent to move? Can you pay a mover?
Mm-hmm.
Can you at least feed your cousins and hit the U-Haul truck?
Yes.
Okay. Think about protection. Do you have the insurances that you need in the event of an emergency or a catastrophe? Okay. Those types of things. Do you have some stability in your income? When I say protection, then I think about skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that from my mother, a registered nurse for over 3 decades. My mother taught me to always have a skill that'll keep you employed. Yes. She was a nurse. She nailed it. She can go back to work right now if she wanted to. There's always jobs for nurses. Okay? And then you think about growth. What are you doing with your money? Are you investing it? Are you investing in real estate? Are you investing in a business? Are you investing in stocks, mutual funds, index funds? Where's your money going? Or are you investing in somebody else's name, getting them rich? Are you investing in things that exteriorly look like you are managing your money? But in reality, if a catastrophe hit, now you gotta pull from a retirement account, pay taxes, pay fees potentially to cover something that if you would have budgeted, you would have automatically had.
Yeah.
I would say the other misconception is the ability to control your taxes. And that's not easy.
Say more about that.
It's definitely not easy. But that's how the rich stay rich. They manage the tax code. Now, this part is not rocket science, but it takes some discipline and it takes some research and it takes some work. You can get you a certified financial planner that can help you through things like this. But just simple Google searching. What can I write off? What's eligible? You know, for you, you're an entrepreneur. I imagine you are writing off everything.
Every single thing that can be
tied
written
to it.
Yes.
You know, small business owners. Do you have your kids listed? Not only saving for them, but, you know, again, thinking about tax cuts. So people underestimate the ability of, you know, having a professional or just doing a little bit of research to help you out from a tax standpoint too.
And I'm just hearing, how beautiful is it to get in a position where your money is working for you and you're not working for your money?
Yeah.
There can be an aspect of that, but to see a wellspring come in, right, just from making a financial decision to position yourself to not have to work for every dollar that you make. That's potent.
Yes, it's potent. And I think the days of having one stream of income is over.
Done.
I mean, have we researched, has anyone Googled inflation rates lately?
Yeah.
I mean, we know it.
And just taking, like what you were saying, like just taking that time to do some research as it relates to elevating your financial, like looking at where you're being honest, I'm sure, honest about your financial situation.
Absolutely.
First and foremost.
First step.
Being honest, being comfortable for asking for help, such as a certified financial planner. And then also staying in authority of your own personal financial institution, right? Like, and doing some research on, as I mentioned, like just elevating your financial situation, because it's all out there. It's all out there. And there's so many ways nowadays to earn or invest than there has ever been. You know, even I would say, I'm sure you've probably seen this 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
You know, an influx of investing. And so I think the key thing here is if you are someone who's sitting at home and you have that feeling and that knowing that like, oh, the rug can be ripped out from under my feet, it is time for you to make your financial health
a priority. Yeah, I would say consider these three things. Here's my call to action for everyone who's listening. If that just resonated with you, what you just spoke of, that it is time to improve your financial health. 1, budgeting. It's going to be hard and it's going to be scary. Sit down and write out your debt. Just write it out. You have to address it. That's the only way to get past it. Once you figure out that debt, figure out a budget and stick to it. Okay. That ties into the first one, but debt management. Until you can get from up underwater, you need to go ahead and cut those cards up, stay out the stores. Black Friday do not apply to you. I'm talking to y'all out there. Black Friday does not apply. Okay. After Christmas sale do not apply. You don't need the things. Okay. We're talking about your financial health here. And then savings. Create an emergency account so then you're not back into this situation in 6 months, a year, or 2 years from now. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Another misconception. Oh, I need a lot of money to invest. I need a lot of money to save. No. Once you create that budget and you see all of the careless spending on nothingness, you're going to be like, wow, I could save $50 a month. I could save $100 a month. I can save $150 a month. And then how you know it, you at the end of the year with this savings, and you're like, okay, now I'm on the road to $1,000 savings. Now I'm on the road to 3 month savings. Now I'm on the road to 6 month savings. Now I'm on the road to investing. Because that's first. Get rid of that debt. Put your emergency to the side and then invest.
I love that. And just even hearing you walk through that process, the amount of relief one can experience.
Yeah.
Because when your financial health isn't where it needs to be, but now we're talking the mental stress, the emotional stress, it's all tied, it's tied together. In that regard. So thank you for sharing those call to action. I know that that's going to resonate deeply with our listeners and viewers for sure.
Yeah.
And now, just transitioning a bit, you are leading and training in the financial world. I'm curious to know what advice would you give someone aspiring to break into leadership roles, particularly as it relates to women of color?
Ooh. Know your space. Don't ask for permission. See, that's the misconception with leadership. There's a difference between leadership and management.
Speak on it.
Okay.
Speak on it.
Management, they create guardrails, boundaries, the policies, the adhere by, the get from point A to point B. Leadership is saying we all have a voice. There's a circle table. Throw your contributions in the middle. Most of it sticks. That's our path. It is how do I do work that I know that I'm good at and passionate about, and how do I empower someone else to tap into their skills and what they're good at, and then we can all cohesively get the job done. That's my professional opinion on the difference. For women of color, when you think about moving into leadership space, just naturally think about what irks you about work. What irks you? For me, it was always inefficiencies. I don't like reactive work. I don't enjoy box checking work. We've all been there, right?
Sure.
Where you do a project or a report and you be like, who's going to read this? How does this impact our clients? How does this impact our associates? So for me, I knew I can't be in that space. And for me, that's management. But I want leadership. I want creative ways to empower others to think and take action. It's no different than our clients that we help financially, right? It's the same thing. I just want to do it across the board in all the work that I do in my life. So think about that thing, ladies, that the inefficiencies and or the things that irk you. Think about a new process, start to implement it. Just do the stuff. Don't ask for permission, because there's space for leaders everywhere. Everywhere, absolutely. I would also say find your tribe within these organizations. Networking is so powerful. A lot of times, and this is so cliche, I'm going to say it anyway, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Yeah, you have to know the things, especially as a Black woman. You can't show up on some just, oh, I know this person. We already know. You can be extremely qualified, but take advantage of those who have gone before you. Get outside of just your space, your business unit, and start meeting the people. A lot of times people will drop your name in rooms that you didn't even know existed. But if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't tap into those leadership opportunities, if you don't network and take advantage of creating those leadership opportunities, then no one knows you're there. Especially if you work in a big organization and there's, hundreds of thousands of people, you can be on an island on your own, or
Sure.
you can say, no, I'm gonna pull my island a little bit closer. Hey, y'all, I'm over here. Look at the fantastic work I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that is beautifully said. And what I'm hearing is you have to show up. You have to utilize your voice. You have to make connections. And I think a very important piece with that, and please add as I say this as it feels aligned for you. I think it's very important for one to release any biases or preconceived notions of others in the space so that you can fully show up authentically and also receive that person authentically as well. Because I know sometimes we can step in a space and there's like these, questions, the who, what, when, where, why, how, right? But to truly like releasing those guards
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a sense and really showing up in these spaces
Mm-hmm.
as the alchemist
Mm-hmm.
and leader that you are. I feel it's very all encompassing to the space. Do you have anything to add to that?
Imposter syndrome. That's what you're describing for corporate America, for a lot of women of color. It's the imposter syndrome. Up until 2020, it was, I've got to straighten my hair. Do I want to wear braids to work? Do I want to show up with my piercing? Can my tattoos show? Are my heels too high? Those were all the things. I'm gonna go ahead and be transparent. The things that I said to myself.
That have ran,
Mm-hmm.
the running script.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are my pants too tight? All the things. Am I saying ask instead of X? As often teased, in the Black culture, that we say ask in a elongated way.
Yes.
The wrong, technically the wrong way. Yeah, all the things. Am I showing up as my most professional self? Yeah. That ended for me in 2020. I was like, look, y'all gonna get these locks, y'all gonna get these piercings, y'all gonna get this professional that has a master's degree. I have years of leadership experience and I have joy. You want me in your organization, but you just gotta take me as I am. Yeah.
And what was that pivotal point? Was it the pandemic, or when you say 2020 that ended, what was the pivotal moment for you where you hit that switch?
Yeah, it was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It was COVID. I knew that I knew that my time in my work location had expired.
Ran its course.
It had run its course. Yeah, it had run its course. And COVID hit and I started working remote and I was like, your girl ain't going back. So I was like, okay, I have to remember what my mother taught me and what skill sets do I have that's going to not only elevate, but put me in a position where I can demand to work in environments that I want to work in, but also, hey, I'm not crazy here. I've been working for some time to not compromise my income and know my value and my worth, which led me to becoming a certified financial planner. Doing some deep research, like what is the highest level of education and skills necessary to always keep me employed But when I show up to that interview, my resume alone says, oh, I mean business.
And I stand
Don't come without these numbers to start.
prepared for negotiation. Yes.
These are the non-negotiables, you know?
Yeah.
And that led me to, certified financial planner. And then I researched and found out that only 1% of CFP holders were Black. And only 1% of that 1% were Black women. So you knew the fire was ignited. I was like, oh, kick in the door. I'm getting, what? And then I went down this rabbit hole and couldn't find like another Black female certified financial planner. I was researching and I was like, I somewhat felt like, y'all was trying to keep this a secret? As Denzel said, I'm leaving here with something. I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. I got a master's degree on my first company when I was working in pharmaceutical sales. Yes, ma'am, I did. They instituted that tuition reimbursement and I was right there. Then now this. And after that, and I put myself in a position, I remember telling my husband, he's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to help people. Like, I don't want to be measured by some numbers. I don't want a checklist to determine if I'm a good employee. I just want to help people. I'm like, I would love to teach all the things that I know. Like, I would love to be able to get my passion across to other advisors. And he was like, well, do it. I couldn't do it at the time, but when COVID hit, then my position that I'm currently in went 100% virtual. It was 100% travel before.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no, I would have been airport, new city,
Sure.
all the time, like 3 weeks out of the month. So that would have never worked with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But now COVID hit and they were like, we can do this virtually. And one person mentioned my name to one person and here I am.
Bless it.
Right?
Bless it. And I love that quote that you mentioned earlier, that we hear a lot. But my last, I would say, 5 years in corporate, at that time, it transitioned to, it's not who you know, it's who knows you and remembers you.
Yep.
Remembers you, you know? So that's beautiful. And I can't help but just acknowledge, even with your beautiful story of your career path and financial planning and now leadership and training. And there's just this energy of movement, right? And that also translates over to some of the other things that you love. Can you share a little bit more about your wellness journey? Hey there, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us for part 1 of this delicious conversation. Please take a moment to like this episode, share your takeaways in the comment section, and share with a friend. I look forward to you tuning back in next Sunday for part 2 of this amazing conversation. And in the interim, be sure to subscribe to the Maven Podcast channel so you don't miss the next episode. See you next time.